Welcome, PVT Express News. Subscribe to the channel to not miss new videos. And now for today's content. A night of quiet vows, Sukai and Tansongyun's intimate celebration of love. True love may seem like something from folklore, elusive and distant. Yet, one peaceful evening on the edge of Beijing, Sukai and Tansongyun showed that sometimes, love stories do step off the page and into real life. There were no camera flashes, no sea of guests, no public spectacle. Instead, it was a private promise shared beneath the stars. Rather than a lavish banquet hall or a majestic hotel, the couple chose a secluded villa surrounded by nature. The setting was intimate, more about warmth than grandeur. The backyard was transformed into a dreamy garden scene, where delicate paper lanterns and strings of lights hung gently above the heads of close friends and family, no more than 50 in total. Only the people who truly mattered were present, their families, old friends, and a few cherished colleagues. The absence of media and the usual buzz created a sanctuary for something more meaningful. Genuine connection. Sukai, ever meticulous, had a hand in shaping every detail of the evening. He adorned the venue with Songyun's favorite flowers, white peonies and pink roses. Their scent lingered in the air, from the garden altar to the petals on their bed, creating a quiet sense of enchantment. As the night deepened and the breeze carried hints of jasmine, Sukai pulled out a piece of folded paper. It wasn't a formal speech, just a letter, written by hand. He looked at Songyun and said, "This isn't a performance. This is our story, the one only we truly know." She opened the letter slowly, her fingers trembling as she read his heartfelt memories, how they met, the moments they struggled and laughed on set, and the unspoken comfort they found in one another. Tears welled in her eyes, not from sadness, but from the overwhelming feeling of being truly known. In one corner of the garden, they had built a symbolic bridge, a tribute to a tale from ancient Chinese folklore. There, under the soft moonlight, they stood alone. Sukai took her hand and whispered, "Whatever life brings, I'll never let go." They sealed the moment with a heart-shaped padlock engraved with their names and that date, fastening it to the railing of the bridge as a symbol of lasting commitment. No one clapped. No one shouted. But the stillness around them felt like the most powerful sound of all, full of depth, emotion, and certainty. Later that evening, back in their room, a familiar guitar rested in the corner. Sukai picked it up and gently strummed the tune of Songyun's favorite high school love song. She joined in, her voice barely above a whisper. They laughed, sang, and lay side by side beneath a canopy of warm, golden light. The night felt cinematic, yet it was strikingly real. They spoke of dreams, a home filled with sunlight and chaos, toast arguments in the mornings, and laughter of future children echoing through the halls. Well past midnight, they unwrapped thoughtful gifts from close friends, each present a token of love and memory. It wasn't a spectacle. It was something rarer, a night built on sincerity, simplicity, and a kind of love that doesn't ask to be seen by the world, only felt by two hearts. One was a scrapbook filled with photos from the beginning of their careers, including moments on the set of the first drama that brought them together. On the last page was written, "To the two souls who found each other in a chaotic world. Thank you for teaching us what true love means." The gifts were inexpensive, but they were rich in meaning. The next morning, Sukai and Tansongyun quietly departed for their honeymoon in Yunnan, a quiet place far from the glamour. But amidst the silence, a leaked photo emerged. Sukai was seen placing his hand gently on Songyun's belly during their vow night. It was enough to set off a storm. Quickly took over social media. Fans speculated, piecing together clues from Songyun's loose satin dress and Sukai's toast, which said, "To the biggest role I'll ever take on, as a father." Their management teams remained silent. No confirmation, no denial. And in that silence, fans continued to dream. What happened that night was more than just a wedding. It was a declaration of love in its most human form, full of warmth, humor, tears, and promises. Sukai and Tansongyun showed that true love doesn't need a grand stage. It grows in the quiet, between small laughs and silent embraces. It's not something to be shown off, it's something to be lived. They didn't just get married. They chose each other. For every day ahead. For every storm. For every morning and night. In his personal post, Sukai wrote, "We didn't look for a stage for our love. We looked for a home." Songyun added, "In his eyes, I saw a world I wanted to live in forever." That night, two stars didn't just shine. They illuminated each other. And under the calm night sky, their love became not just their own story, but a small light for a world that often forgets what real love looks like. Sukai and Tansongyun's wedding wasn't just a moment. It was a legacy. It was proof that love doesn't have to be loud to be heard, it doesn't have to be big to be felt, and it doesn't have to be announced to be real. It just has to be there. Felt. Guarded. And for that night, and perhaps for life, that love was theirs. What stuck with me most wasn't the wedding itself, but the way it made people feel. Many young fans wrote, "I want a love like that, quiet, real, and held in silence." Even couples who had been married for decades said the night reminded them of the beginning of their love. Sukai and Tansongyun didn't just marry as two celebrities. They united as two human beings who chose to love beyond the glittering world, in simplicity, in silence, and in eternity. In a post a week after their wedding, Sukai wrote a digital letter to their future children. "If you read this one day, know that the night we got married was a night when love didn't scream, but whispered in every beat of our hearts. The world may change, but our promise to each other will remain the same." Tansongyun replied with a short poem that concluded with the line, "In all my life, if fate gave me one choice, I would still choose to love her first." Please leave your discussion. Welcome to leave comments. Welcome to my channel. Thank you all.